Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. Today we have a different kind of reading, but I'm really excited about it. I just feel this energy, and I'm included in this energy of a lot of fear, stress, and anxiety taking over and trying to pretend it's intuition. And I just got this strong sense today to do this style of reading, which which I'm about to explain. I feel a lot of energy right here, a lot of energy. So today is messages to remind you of your value. And I'm gonna have 6 different piles or 6 different groups, and those are represented by each of these different crystals, stones, and I pulled this card for myself the other day, and I was told this is the energy that everyone needs to remember that they deserve. This is the Sun Splendor card from, why am I forgetting? Alchemy, the Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle deck, and that will be linked in the description. It's so interesting. I'm already feeling so much energy. I get very tongue-tied, and I tend to have a hard time getting words out. It's like my tongue feels thicker, like there's molasses in my mouth. At times when I feel a lot of energy that I'm channeling, and that's exactly how I'm feeling now, but I usually don't feel this until I get into the piles. It feels thick. I feel what I'm feeling right now is just, it feels so thick because it's like there's so much to move through. There's so much energy, each and every one of us here in this collective watching this. And even if people who aren't watching this, I just feel this is the general collective right now, because a lot of my friends I've talked to feel this way, is there's this pull towards something, but the resistance is thick. The ego is so intense and so loud and so thick that a lot of us feel we're just stuck in the thick. And it's like something's pulling at us, but we're like, what direction is it coming from? My ego's telling me to go. Is that my ego? Is that my intuition? I'm feeling this sense. And like I said, I'm included in this. So I'm very excited for this reading. I feel this is going to just be a very warm hug. This is a nurturing reading. So there are 6 groups, but I feel the intention of people coming here picking 1 to 3 if you feel drawn to it, because these are messages to remind you of your value. And we're all so valuable, and we all bring different things to the table, and we're all a mixed bag. I'm thinking of chocolates or just something all these things that make us who we are. And so we're all extremely unique. We're all so valuable, but we're also valuable in our own unique ways. And that's what's beautiful. That's what's exciting. And so I'm getting the sense these are going to be short and sweet messages, but just something to hit the heart, to hit home, to make you remember. I'm hearing why you're here. Why, and first of all, why you're here is because you are meant to just love yourself. You are meant to be loved, and in the way of being able to really find your soul. This feels like a different message, but they're just say it anyway. So this is kind of a collective part of the reading right now. But this is the vibe I'm getting. We are just let's dive in. So here we have pile 1. I'm going to just say group because I'm not showing piles right now. It's a crystal. So group 1, Larmar. I think I'm saying that correctly. I don't know. It's fine. We all make mistakes. Number 2, this is just a rock I found on a walk. But I don't know. The energy is so good. There's something about this. So I felt I had to include it. So this is just a stone, a rock I found on a walk, Here we have labradorite. I don't know about the lighting, if you'll be able to see the nice flash at all. Oh, sorry. That was pile 3 or group 3. Group 4 is amethyst. Classic but a cutie. Group 5 is moss agate. Group 6 is rhodonite. Dun, 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 dun. So pile 1, I had whatever. Group pile, same thing. Group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can pause the video, or if you already know, you know, just I was gonna say just figure it out. Literally my brain is like, I am ready to receive messages. It's like, enough with the logistics. They know what to do. They've been here, and if you haven't done a pick a card reading before, your guides trust you to figure it out, I guess. Oh my goodness. I feel there's a lot of witty energy in here too. Okay, well, I'm going to feel ya at your reading, at your group. So I will see you soon. Hello, hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. The energy is so strong. Okay. I'm going to start off with the Saltwater Spirit Oracle cards. Being called to start off with these. I'm trying to think if I'm getting any messages coming in right away. It's just, overall, it's just, you're so valued. So let's give you a nice reminder. A little reminder to yourself. There's this SNL skit with, oh my gosh, it was during quarantine, or like, happened, I don't know. Anyway, A.D. Bryant just goes, a gentle reminder, and it talking about like having a live, love, laugh poster in her room or in her house, and it, to me, I just keep hearing that, like, a gentle reminder. I will try to remember to post it. We'll see. I might forget. But anyway, here's a gentle reminder of your value of, and again, even if you were just a soul just sitting here on earth, you still have value. Like, this is meant to be made very clear. You have value just being. You don't need to do anything, accomplish anything. You being alive equals value. Instant value. Like, I just heard instant gratification, instant value. Like, you are a person on this earth, or a living creature on this earth, instant value. So that's just an underlying thing I'm hearing that I feel like this group really needs to remember. I feel a lot of you place your value, I mean, our society teaches us to do this, but place your value on, I'm hearing doing. I heard forensics. Is someone in here like a forensic scientist? I don't know. That just like came up randomly in my head. I was like, I won't say that. I was like, why not? Someone in here might identify. It is a collective reading after all. So let's look at these messages here. Number 51, Orca Whale. Sorry, terrible positioning. I honor my internal instincts and allow my higher self to guide me through this time. There's something about, it's like, I'm almost viewing this as one whale. Here, it's like you can see them and then they just get more and more, like, they kind of disappear. And I'm hearing hermit mode, like disappearing act. Almost like you might feel like, if you're like, if I just disappeared, nothing would change. No one would care. I'm kind of hearing this kind of self-talk. If I just disappeared, like, who would notice? And it's like, I feel you recognize that you're thinking this. And it's a hard one to change. But again, you just existing is valuable. You are valuable just because you are you. If you disappeared, the earth would lose value. If you disappeared, people around you would lose value. Like, this is just, I think this is just kind of like a point blank reading is, I think you need to realize your value is not attached to anything. And I mean, this is true for all groups, but there's something about this group that really needs to hone this in. You being here, it just equals value. So if you are having a tough time, if you're like, I've been so lazy lately, no. Our society like made up that word to have a workforce, like workhorses, basically. They turned humans into, you know what I'm, workhorses. It's like, there are cycles. We can't expect ourselves to be going 24/7. Like it's honestly, it's just not plausible. It's not true to who we are. We burn ourselves out. If you look around, people are just burnt out walking around. And they still have value being burnt out. It's not that they don't. It's like the universe being like, everyone here deserves to realize their value. We don't need to be worked to the bone to have value. We don't need to own all these things to have value. Just existing brings us value. And so I feel this is just a big message of, if you disappeared, yes, the world would lose value. No doubt about it. Because your soul is on this earth for a reason. I heard dramatic pause in my head. They're like, really like pause here to really give it the dramatic effect so they really feel it. I feel a lot of you have a fun sense of humor. Like, I feel like you use humor to get by. And maybe some of you are, I don't know, the fact that I heard dramatic pause, like actor, like aspiring actor, actress. I don't know. It feels, there's just a dramatic energy there, but like a fun one, you know? Okay, we also have number 20. The moon's really sticking out to me. And moon for me is like very intuitive, intuition. I haven't even looked at this yet, but I'm just seeing like the it's like both of these cards, like focus on this one, but both of these cards have like all of these whales, like these people. It just seems like it's one, but like spread thin almost. I feel like you feel so spread thin. And I'm getting this energy of coming back home to yourself, of taking all these parts of you that you have just given out either freely or for work. It's just whatever it is. And there's no judgment here, but you need to start calling back in your energy, because I think it's almost like you feel like you've disappeared from yourself too. That's another energy here. It's like, you're like, who am I? I feel like I don't even exist right now. I feel like I'm just one fraction of me. And I feel like you're spreading yourself so thin. So kind of what I was talking about earlier, I think you just need to learn and like set boundaries of just being you and taking space to I'm just picturing like you just, and with all these tentacles or like cords, and you just reeling them all in. And it's like you just becoming your whole self again. I think that's something, it's like once you work on bringing back a lot of that energy and putting that energy towards yourself, you are naturally going to feel more valuable in your own life too, because then you have the energy to feel that way. I think a lot of you just feel deflated. I was going to say defeated and deflated right now. So this one says, lucid dreams. A deep connection with spirit is evolving both in your waking and dreaming life. I feel a lot of you might be on the path or the start of a spiritual journey. This might be like a newer thing for you watching pick a card readings, or maybe you've kind of dipped your toe in for a bit, but right now you're like, I want to stick my whole leg in there, get my whole calf in there. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I feel this is a really good time. This is almost like your spirit team, your guides, whatever energy you feel is guiding you telling you it's time to go within. Go within you. I'm hearing like kind of like nighttime. Nighttime, I'm viewing like going in a cave, visiting the darkest parts of yourself. That can be hard, but ultimately when then you come out of that cave, when you come out of the underworld, out of the darkness, it's the sun shines so bright. It's so beautiful, and the world is just way better than when you walk out of the cave than when you ever went into the cave. I don't know if that made sense. It's when you find yourself, it's like the world smiles back at you because you're smiling out into the world. If you're frowning out to the world's going to frown back, because it's the energy you radiate that you feel back. It's kind of like the opposite of a magnet. Like you are a magnet with what you put out in that sense. So I feel it's time to come home to yourself, and then you're going to feel more at home in the world. And you're going to really recognize your value, because you can hear how valuable you are from all these people and from pick-a-card readings over and over again. But it's not until you dive deep into your own self where you realize your own value, and then it's going to stick. So again, it's kind of like bringing yourself in, recognizing yourself. I'm hearing finding your soul, recognizing your soul. When you look in the mirror, you're going to be like, that's an amazing soul right there who has a lot of value just because you do. I do. Well, group number 1, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you felt drawn to any of the other piles, feel free to, pick I can't think of, just pick what feels right and kind of develop your own reading. And I appreciate you being here. I have a website and I have readings up on my website. I also have my own oracle deck that I've created, a Gentle Journey Oracle, which would honestly be really amazing for this energy. If you're still here, if you stuck around, I'm going to actually do a last card here with it, a Gentle Journey Oracle. You don't know until you know. Take it easy on yourself. How would you talk to a friend going through what you are currently experiencing? I'm also hearing like maybe some of you will be very hard, like feel very harsh on yourself. Like during spiritual awakenings, it can be really hard. Be like, how did I see this before? Why didn't I think of this before? Like some of you might be like, why have I been so hard on myself? That's just being more hard on yourself. So you don't know until you know. Take it easy on yourself. And yeah, how would you talk to a friend going through this and really treat yourself with that same compassion? Well, pile group 1, thank you again for being here, and maybe I'll see you in another group. Bye. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose The Rock I Found on a Walk. Ooh, Welcome. I'm just trying to get a sense of the energy and what decks. Okay, I'm being told to start off with my own deck, a Gentle Journey Oracle. I'm hearing like delivery, like a message being delivered, and I'm seeing like mail being delivered on horseback. I don't know. It feels, I'm trying to figure, it feels urgent. It's interesting. The image in my mind seems very urgent, but the feeling I have is so relaxed. It's like I see this horse chart it. I feel like they look like I should feel like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But I feel so like, oh, hey, rider riding in with like fierceness and passion. What's up? This is so, it's almost, there's two ways I can interpret this. I feel like, one, it's like the universe, your guides have been trying to be like, oh my God, get excited for this thing. It's incredible. Like all of these signs over and over again. And you're just like, sure. Will that happen? Maybe not. It's like you've conditioned yourself to not have your hopes up. But the universe is like, we are sending this message on this horse, and it's this intense sign. And you're like, yeah, I've seen it before. Like, I feel like you've been burned, like, by promises. Okay, sorry, my cat is, like, rubbing up against the stand, so it's just gonna be a little shaky here. It just feels like you feel like you're like, I've gotten this message before. It's like the Boy Who Cried Wolf sort of vibe here. But I'm hearing, oh, my cat. Okay, baby. I'm doing. Maybe this is your spirit team being like, wake up, like a kind of shaking, like, this is real, this is happening. It's like, I was just telling group number 1 this. You are valued just for being yourself. I'm going to tell every group this. You just being you is value. So you don't need to do anything. There's nothing like that. But I'm hearing for you specifically, I wonder how long that was bugging you guys. It was upside down. I just feel, I'm hearing to get into this. Okay, this was the first one I feel I pulled. Time to harvest all your work. Bask what you have created for yourself and what you have gifted to others. Okay, yeah. Your team, your guides are like, it is time to harvest. Haven't you seen all the signs? It's like they are really trying to tell you. I think they want you to realize your value, that just because things haven't worked out in the past doesn't mean they're never going to work out. Like, think about other things that haven't worked out in your life. And you're like, oh my gosh, thank God that didn't work out because that brought me to this. It's almost like viewing your life as value, like viewing your life as this valuable experience is kind of what I'm hearing for you. Every moment in your life has had value, has value, will have value, even if in the moment it seems like shit. But when you look back, you're gonna be like, that was one hell of a valuable experience. Like, I feel like this group, this is kind of the energy. It's like you are valuable, but I feel you know this. I feel you are valuable, but it's more of you realizing you are valuable in the way to get what you've been working towards. You're not always going to be in the dark. And when I said that, like, this rock is very dark. I don't know. I found that funny. I was like, wow, this rock is just dark. Don't you agree? I just feel you are allowed. Okay, now I'm viewing this almost like a ledge, and it's like you're walking up. And it's like, they're like, look at all of this amazing stuff ahead of you. Look out. Look out. And you're just like looking behind being like, yeah, but all this stuff didn't work out. And they're like, okay, but there was value in that it didn't work out because look where you're headed. It's like you keep looking behind at what didn't work out. And they're like, keep trying to turn you around, but look at where you're headed. So it is time to harvest your work. It is time. And they understand the uncertainty and why you are unsure of it actually working out this time. But it's, think of what you've been through as value. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, now we're going to do this one. Who's a good soul? You are. Love your spirit team. I'm hearing you might be like, what have I done to deserve what has happened? What have I done to, like, I'm hearing earn these failures, like, in this sense of, like, you're like, I have earned this failure. Like, it's not, but no. It's not, I'm hearing no sweet baby soul, like, in my head. It's like, you are a good soul. Like, you have done what you needed to do, and things haven't worked out for a very particular, very specific reason, which, again, you'll be able to look back on later. And they're saying this in a way, like, we know you don't want to hear this right now, but, like, where you're like, I see the value in that experience. And I'm not here saying, to be like, wow, this terrible, absolutely crappy thing that happened in my life, so valuable. It's not that. It's more of things I'm talking about, like, I'll use myself as an example. With my business, when I first started, I went by the Oracle artist. And I wasn't getting a lot of hits with my readings and stuff, and I was just constantly evolving and changing. And then literally last month, I realized I was like, this isn't me. This is a part of me. I just need to change everything to just be my name, Sara Parson. And I already feel more expansive and better. If I took off as the Oracle artist, I probably would have tried to stay in it to make it work, because I would have been like, but this is working. But now I'm so thankful that so many of my offerings didn't work out, because it made me really keep digging to look at, who did I really want to become? Where was my soul really leading me to, or leading me towards? And so now I see the value in all of those offerings not working out, all those things I tried not working out. Whereas in the moment, I was sobbing like every day. Okay, not every day, but like I was like, it was like a very emotional roller coaster. Like, I got this, to crying. I got this, to crying. And I kind of feel that might be the energy here. And it's like, those things that happened in your past that didn't work out, it wasn't like your fault. And you might be like, what did I do wrong? I'm hearing nothing. We all make mistakes, but it's like, in the grand scheme of things, you did exactly what you needed to do to get to where you are right now. And so it's just like, really look at yourself as a good soul. You have value. You are valued. And again, it's like, it's time to harvest something you've been really working towards. Hope is not naive. Hope is inspiration. Hope is fuel. Hope is a warm embrace. That feels really good. This is all about having hope. Let yourself look ahead. Let yourself, when you see the horse, the messenger with the mail on the horse, going, news for you. You can be like, for me, it's good. And they're like, it's good. And you're like, oh my gosh, I deserve this. Versus like throwing it in the trash, be like, it'll never happen. Because I feel that's the energy. Like, you're getting all this stuff and they're like, it's happening, it's happening. You're like, it's almost like you thinking it's like junk mail and throwing it in the trash, when really it's like, new opportunity, amazing thing. And it's like, you're too afraid to look, because you're too afraid it's going to be another thing saying, sorry, not now. And that's not to say there's not going to be more of those in the future, but it's to hope for the good, like hope that something is like, yes, there's this amazing opportunity, or yes, this thing is finally taking off or working out. And so hope is something to really embrace here, to really stand on the cliff and be like, I can have that. And it's funny, because actually, like, I have this from the beginning collective reading. It was kind of like, it's in front of this, but, way up on my table, but it just seemed like that's where it's looking towards, like this sunset, like this beautiful life. So you deserve a beautiful life. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. I almost feel like, take a deep breath and I'm hearing, know you're loved, know you're a good soul, you are valued because you are you, and your life has value. Your future has value, is what I'm hearing. I think that's what you really need to hear. There's so much value in your life because you created that value for yourself. So it's time to harvest that value. How much can I say value? Well, group number 2, thank you so much for joining me. Whew. I felt this energy. I felt it. And if these cards, if you really enjoyed them, this is from my own personal deck, A Gentle Journey Oracle, and it's available on my website. So maybe I'll see you in another group. Okay, I'll feel you later. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, group number 3. You chose the labradorite. It's so small. I'm like, am I doing this right? I feel this group is feeling lighter than the last 2. I feel you have more energy and a zest in you, if that makes sense. I feel you're more watching this for like a little pick-me-up or fun versus like, I need these messages. Like, does that make sense? Like, because there's sometimes I go watching card readings, I'm like, I'm eating my breakfast or my lunch, and you know what? I could use some little fun messages or some, uplifting things. And other times I'm like, oh, I really need some like inspiration right now. And I feel like the first 2 groups were about that. Or maybe, what if you watched 1 and 2 and you're already feeling inspired, so now you're feeling a little funky and fresher. Okay, my cat is rubbing up against the stand here. Nothing I can do, because, you know, cats. I refuse to get in the middle of that. Okay, let's pull some cards for you. Messages to remind you of your value. That one wanted to come out right away. And I'm using the Maiden Oracle deck right now. And it'll be linked in the description. I think I'll just use that one. We'll start with these two. The Magician. Okay. So it also has the major arcana from the tarot in this Oracle deck too. So you have the Magician. So number 1, already I'm hearing kind of like fresh start, new beginnings, infinite possibilities with how the snake is. And you are a master at what you create, like what you visualize, what you can do. And I think maybe I feel like you're in this magician mode right now. And know your mind is so valuable in the way that your whole self is valuable. What I wanted to say in every group is, even if you just sit and do absolutely nothing, you are still valuable, because you are still a soul here on earth, and every soul has value no matter what. Our society teaches us something very different, but I just want to say that right away. You just being you is so valuable. And my cat, Penny, I hear you want attention, but these sweet souls also need attention. She is on one. I just feel, maybe, you know, she's just feeling this energy so potently. I feel like you have energy to do stuff. I feel like that was a weird way to say it, but like, I feel like you just have energy. I feel like you have fuel right now. I feel like you have fuel. And this says nothing is everything. And also there's like some candle wax got on here, and for some reason it feels like sealed, like something is sealed. Like I'm hearing your fate is sealed, but in a real, it's like amazing. Like nothing is everything. I feel you can look around the world and you can find the positive in absolutely everything. You can find a silver lining in anything. And that feels really beautiful. And I don't know, and it feels really smooth. I really like the sensory of that. I don't know. I feel like your soul, like the sealed in fate, I'm almost feeling like your soul, no matter what, is just fated to find beautiful possibilities in so many things. And I feel that helps you manifest what you desire. I feel one thing that you really bring to this earth, like to this realm, this time in life and space, is this energy, because it oozes out of you and you can share it with others. And this is not to say you don't have times of sorrow, of sadness, of anger. We all have that. We are humans, so don't put yourself down forever feeling that. But I'm hearing, when you're in your prime, it's more of like in your prime of knowing who you are, feeling at home with yourself, feeling secure and like confident. This energy just radiates out of you, and it just feels so incredible. And my cat just has to be by me right now. She like never does this during readings. There's something about this energy in this group that's just making her act a certain way. I don't know. Hi, baby. It just, nothing is everything. You see the beauty in all of this stuff. And I'm almost seeing this, like you could be bleeding out and you're like, well, I had an incredible life. There's just something where you're just like, something could be terribly happening to you and you can be bleeding, you can be crying, you can be angry, but deep down you are still feeling thankful for the life you've lived. And that has so much value, because to be able to share that gift with others is beautiful. And sharing that gift really is, again, you just being you. Like that's going to radiate off of you. But I can hear that you might get down on yourself when you're not feeling this energy, because I think some of you might be in careers or occupations or a way of work, how you make money, or just something significant that you do in your life where this energy is very needed and applauded. It's like this energy, this positive outlook on life really helps you in that area of your life. So when you're feeling down, you feel like you're letting your work down, this group down, whatever down. But I'm hearing you, again, are very valued by just being you, and you being you can be very angry. You can be upset. You can be sad. You can be wallowing for like a week or a month. It's just like you still have value in those moments. So this is a very clear thing to be brought up. And if people are like, why aren't you your cheery self today? I miss that person. It's like they might mean well, but to you that hits you in a different way because you're like, that is supposed to be me. I am supposed to be shedding this light. I am supposed to be always positive, positive, positive. Some of you might be like a social media presence where you feel like that's your thing, is positivity, spreading positive messages and affirmations and all this stuff. But sometimes you might just be like, I feel like crap. And that is okay. You still have value because that's just the human experience. That's just you living your life. And so that's a very important message to remember that. Like, you are still allowed to have these periods of down. And I'm also hearing to share that. That's value in itself, because people are like, oh my gosh, they get upset too? Wow. Like, that can be inspiring. Like, showing people how to healthily move through these emotions, if that feels aligned to you. If it doesn't, no worries. If you just need to work through it by yourself, that's, do what you feel like doing. I'm hearing that message for some of you if you've been too scared to share that side of you, but they expect this energy. It's like, well, we all have many sides to ourselves, and if people can't respect that part of you, that's on them. That's not on you, because you are being authentic. And if someone can't respect you and all of you, that means they have work to do, not you have work to do to change. Why is that triggering them? They need to work on that, as long as you're doing it respectably, don't be an ass, please. But I don't feel like that's energy. Okay, I'm going to pull one last card for you from my own deck, a Gentle Journey Oracle, to round out this message for pile group 3. I keep going to say pile. Oh, I think I have. Oh, I feel it. Not those ones, this one. Self-love is in the air. Shower yourself with what you enjoy experiencing. So I'm just hearing many things in this. Just treat yourself with kindness. Just love yourself. And I feel that just adds instant value to yourself because you feel the value. Again, you are always valued no matter what. You always have value no matter what. But when you start sensing that, when you start embracing that energy, oh my gosh, beautiful. Nothing becomes everything even more. It's like lush. It just feels lush. And just, again, shower yourself with what you enjoy experiencing. If you're in a down mood, if you're not feeling the best, do what you feel like doing versus be like, I need to act cheery because everyone expects this of me. No, you can be like, honestly, friends, honestly, group I work with, whatever, this is how I'm feeling and this is how I need to go about my day today. Like, start showing up as all sides of you, because you deserve to be all sides of you. Because that's what everyone has, many sides to themselves. One is not better than the other. Other people might be able to swallow one better than the other, but as long as you're being respectful and kind and loving, again, that's on other people to work through their stuff. As long as you are showing up, again, with respect and love and kindness, there's nothing wrong with saying, I can't be the jokester today. I can't crack the jokes that I normally do. I'm honestly just feeling pretty down. And there's a siren going by right now, and I feel like that this is a very big message that a lot of you need to hear as a reminder. So group number 3, thank you so much for joining me today. This energy is just, they're just lovely. Each pile has just lovely energy. It's just, the sirens are going off. You can probably hear them. But If you feel called to my deck, A Gentle Journey Oracle, I have it up on my website along with personal readings. And I just love connecting to your energy even more if that's something you feel called to do. And maybe I will feel you in another pile. But I will feel you later. Bye. Ended that on 11/11. Wow. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Hello, pile 4. Welcome to your reading, or group 4. You chose the amethyst. It's interesting because the other groups I kind of felt a rush of energy, and I'm feeling eerily nothing. Like, not nothing. I'm hearing the word deflated, defeated. I feel a lot of people watching this pile just, I'm hearing have been giving to others, but not to yourself. Or people have been taking your energy in some way or another, and you almost feel like you have no choice, or physically there is no choice or something. I'm hearing right away this pile, this group, these messages are to help you feel the love. Because everyone deserves to feel loved, to be loved. And I'm hearing right now, the main purpose right now is for you to feel love. Because you are so valued just by being you. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is be yourself, be you, exist. You existing equals you being valued. This is something I'm reminding every group. But right here, it feels very important. I'm just feeling like a more sadness, like, again, some more despair. And I'm seeing a lot of hugs, like all of your spirit teams, your guides, whatever energy you feel is helping you and guiding you. In this very moment, they're hugging you so tightly, and they are always, but like, I feel like right now it might just hit different because are being told about it. And I'm seeing hand holding, massaging of shoulders. It's during this reading, your guides want you to feel like you are so loved. So if you're getting shivers, warmer, colder, hot, like ringing in the ears, that's because this message is it's really important for you to hear. And they just really want you to know how loved you are. So let's see the first card here. Signs. The universe is communicating with you through signs. Ask for signs, trust, receive. So any of these images might be a sign for you even right now. I'm also using the Intuitive Magic Oracle deck. It'll be linked in the description. That ask for signs and trust, receive, like when I was saying the shivers and all of that, maybe you can start asking for, I want to get a shiver when you give me a hug. I want to hear more ringing in my ears when you're telling me like words of inspiration, things like that from your guides and your team, because they want you to know how loved you are. And I'm hearing they've been trying to send you signs, or maybe you have been receiving signs and seeing a lot of a specific angel number or animal. And you're like, why do I keep seeing this over and over again? Your guides are here to tell you this is a platform. I'm almost seeing like a TED Talk platform of your guides be like, this is our time to tell you that all of these things you've been seeing have been indeed us telling you how much we love you. It feels like there's some humor here. They want you to have fun. They want you to laugh. They want you to find value in life in general. Like, even though I'm hearing you've been through hard times, you're going through hard times, there is still value to be had living and loving, and just going throughout your day. So I'm also seeing signs as like, create signs for yourself. Like, when I see this animal, I'm going to, I was going to say tickle myself. That's weird. I mean, not weird. It's just funny how that came out. Maybe some of you will just like tickle yourself to make you laugh. That's cute. I wasn't trying to say you're weird. I'm so sorry if it came off that way. It was just like, I was not expecting that to just roll out of my mouth. It's more of Like, or maybe you're gonna like be like, I will look in the mirror and tell myself I'm gorgeous, or how I have a great sense of humor, or how I'm working really hard. Like, there's just something, it's almost like when you see something, you have to stop and say an affirmation to yourself. You have to give yourself a high five. I don't know, something about, yes, ask the universe for signs, but also play games with yourself, and you, in return, you have to like say something nice about yourself to yourself, something like that. And that's going to just help you remember your value, because they can be sending you all the signs, but if you don't fully intrinsically believe it, it's not going to hit the way they want it to hit. They meaning your guides, your spirit team. So it's, you need to work on realizing your own value. So make it fun. You know, it doesn't, some people might be like, I have a hard time just standing in front of the mirror saying affirmations, like, ugh, boring. Or, you know, like maybe you need to move around. So again, it's like, maybe make it a game. Whenever I see a butterfly, I have to say 3 nice things about myself, or 3 things I accomplished today. Like, I made my bed, ate my breakfast, you know, talked to that person I was scared to talk to. Like, I'm just hearing, make a fun game. It doesn't have to be boring. I'm hearing spirituality, like, and finding yourself doesn't have to be this like dull, like hard thing. Yes, it does get very hard because you're working on yourself, meaning you have to work through all these limiting beliefs and all this stuff, but that doesn't have to be the energy 24/7. And I just saw 0606 on the camera. So maybe 6s are a big number, because some of you might be 777, maybe 666 is a big one. And despite, you know, what the Bible says and all that, that means like releasing. And I was just kind of talking about limiting beliefs, like releasing. I know there's like a lot of different, what's it called, things each angel number can mean, but that's one thing that was sticking out for me, like 666. It's like releasing what doesn't serve you. So the more you start inviting in all these beautiful energies of you, it's going to be even easier to release the limiting beliefs, the negative self-talk, because you are so valued, and it's time for you to start talking to yourself that way. Okay, next one, divine guidance. You are being guided every step of the way. It is safe to trust your intuition. Sorry, I need to look at the camera first before we're placing it. Yeah, and also with the moon, that makes me think inner guidance. So trust your inner guidance, trust the signs you are receiving. And I'm hearing this, I'm burping a lot, so a lot of energy is moving through with this message. It's just, I'm hearing look within to look without, to look, to see. That's interesting. Look within to look. I feel like it's like look within. So when you look outwards, it's almost like you can see yourself, of how your guides see you, how the universe sees you, how your loved ones see you. I'm hearing a lot of your value you might be been placing externally, and it's really time to look inward. And only then will you be able to step kind of outside of yourself and be like, damn, that's a high valued soul right there. Because you are, everybody is, just by existing. But I'm feeling like it's really time to look in. It's really time to dive deep within yourself. And again, there's hard times that I'm not gonna lie. It's called Dark Night of the Soul for a reason. Or, you know, the inner shadow work. But again, there's this way you can bring fun to it. It's not going to be this super awful time for this long period. Like, I was just basically in a shadow years, I don't know, but like, yes, it was hard, a lot of inner work, but at the same time, I had some of the most beautiful days ever. And I was the most proud of myself that I've ever felt in my life. And so it's yin yang, I'm hearing. It's this balance. So you can still make finding your value, finding yourself fun, loving. I mean, the whole thing is loving. All shadow work should be loving. But it is time to look within, is what I'm hearing. And you are being guided. You are being drawn to things that are going to help you figure out which next step to take. Because right now you're like, how do I even do that? Just trust your guidance. It got you to this video, didn't it? And so just keep trusting your intuition and have fun with it. Okay, I'm going to pull you one last card from my own deck, a Gentle Journey Oracle. I love how my deck looks with this deck because it's like they're both pink and everything. It's time to work easy, accomplish something you enjoy. Again, I'm hearing this soul work. I think a lot of you have been putting it off because you hear how people talk about it, how shadow work is and how it can be daunting and hard. But again, you make it how you need to make it for you. One person's experience is not everyone's experience. My own shadow work experience is vastly different from friends that I have or other people I've watched or listened to. So you make it your own. Accomplish it in the way that feels good to you. Accomplish the shadow work in a way that feels right to you. Dive deep in the way that feels good to you. You don't need to listen to all these people. This is the one and only way to do shadow work, because that is bullshit. I'm sorry. My way of shadow work is going to be very different than yours. Every single person is going to have a different experience. So you can get guidance, but anyone who says this is the only way, step away. And I feel like you already feel that way. I feel like you're already like, all these people say this and that doesn't work for me. So you might already feel a little apprehensive to trust anyone telling anything because of how maybe past experiences, which is valid. But look within and go to people that you trust their energies, that you get good vibes, and you can pick and choose. Like, that's how I did mine. I was like, I like how you did that. I like that feels aligned to me. Feels aligned to me. And I created my own path of how I dove deep into myself. And I feel like that's what your guides, the universe, is calling you to do, because they really want you to come home to yourself and find your value. Yeah, this feels really beautiful in the way that I'm hearing. It's just the world's your oyster, your inner world too. There's so much unlimited possibilities for you because this is where it all starts. It starts with you. It starts with you diving within yourself. And the amount of beauty you're going to find is just incredible. And I'm so excited for you. It just feels really beautiful. Well, pile 4, group 4, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this energy of my deck, I have it available on my website, A Gentle Journey Oracle. It's all about being gentle with yourself. And I actually created this when I was kind of coming out of my shadow work, and I was like, these are the messages I needed during it's basically messages I channeled from what I learned from shadow work. So, but it's like loving. You can see that all messages are sort of like this, where it's comforting, being like, you are loved, basically. So if you feel drawn to this, it's on my website. I also have other offerings on my website, and I have one called Unleashing Your Inner Power, which is really helping you figure out some of the blocks you might have around really getting to know yourself and wanting to find yourself. So if that sounds interesting, if like I was saying about next steps, if you enjoyed the energy of this reading, if you enjoyed my energy, if you feel like our energy clicks, check out my offerings, see if any of them appeal to you. But that one, I can think that's kind of with the energy of this reading. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me here today, and maybe I'll feel you in another pile, and if not, feel you later. Bye. Hello, pile, group 5. I keep saying pile. It's fine. Welcome to your reading on messages to remind you of your value. I'm going to use the Moon Witch Oracle for this group. I was going to say for this deck. And I was going to say for this pile. I'm not getting interesting. I'm feeling like I'm being withheld information. I think a lot of you have had barriers up. Oh my gosh, that is so interesting because I just pulled no, sleep on it. That is so, wow. There's a lot of barriers up with you. And I don't, sorry, if that sounded judgmental, I didn't mean for it to sound that way at all. I'm also feeling kind of like curt energy. Like, no, yes, maybe, okay. I'm hearing I've been burned before and I will not be burned again. And all of a sudden, like, my bottom of my chair feels so heavy. Like, I will not budge. I will not move. I will not budge. This is so interesting. Okay, this other one came out. Freya, you are worthy. You are loved. I feel, excuse me. I feel a lot of you are like, okay, I'm getting this energy. It's coming together. I feel you're like, I've been burned before. I will not be burned again. I know my worth. I feel you know you're valuable. You're like, I am worthy. This might be due to a relationship, someone treating you wrong, friendship, work, just anything in life where you feel you've been burned many times in this area. Could be multiple areas too. And you're like, I know my worth. But I'm hearing your guides in a loving way. This feels like a tough love kind of reading because they're like, you're a tough love kind of soul right now, but not in a bad way, because I'm hearing valid of why you feel this way. Yet, how has this energy been serving you? Are you having fun with this energy? Do you feel safe with this energy in a way of, if you were to let it go, do you feel safe? That's very interesting. Maybe that'll hit some of you. I think in a way of, you don't need this energy to be safe, but I feel it's like thick walls because you're like, I need it to be safe. But I'm hearing the boundaries have been, it's too thick at this point, because I'm hearing you want something. So for instance, for example, if you were in a relationship and they treated you poorly and you've worked out, like, and you broke it off, or they broke, however it ended, it's like you found yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, I am so much more worthy than that. Like, I will never go back to that relationship ever again. I know my red flags. I know my worth. And now it's like, you've like swung the pendulum to the other side where you're like, you're not even letting anybody in. That's the feeling I'm getting. I'm hearing you put yourself on a pedestal and no one can reach it. But again, you are very valuable. I forgot to say this in the beginning. Every single person is valuable by just being yourself. You don't need to do anything. You just existing is value to this world. And again, I feel you figured this out, which I love. Like, I love how you're like, I know my value, because it's such an amazing aha moment to have. But you've put yourself on this pedestal in this way where there's no ladder, there's no stairs to get up to you. It's kind of like you're looking down on people. And I'm saying this I'm not trying to say this with judgment, so I'm really sorry if it is. It's just, they're like showing me all these images too. So it's like you looking down, being like, haha, I will not let any of you fool me. But you're also looking at people like yearning for them at the same time. So it's this energy of, I want, but you can't have. And you might be like, why am I not getting what I'm desiring? Because I know my worth now. And it's because I'm hearing the walls are a little too thick. And so it's time to do some more inner work. And you're probably like, oh my gosh, but I just did the inner work to find my value and to know this. And they're like, I know. But it's a way of, how can you have such beautiful boundaries for yourself, and because these go together. To have beautiful boundaries for yourself and be able to let people in. Because you don't need to have these super thick walls. I'm hearing for some people, yes. Yes, 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 yes. They're like, some people need those thick ass walls, don't get us wrong. But they're like, some people need your boundaries just almost written out and handed to them. And then they'll be like, I will respect that. But it's interesting. It's finding the balance of who to give those thick walled boundaries to and who to have it like there's still boundary, but they can see you and you can see them. You can still touch them. Like, and again, this is any kind of relationship or any situation in life. It's the reason you're not getting what you're like, I deserve, is because you haven't there's no room for anybody else right now, or there's no room for the situation that you want right now because of, you're like, I'm worthy, I'm not letting anything ruin this. And it feels just such a tight rein on everything, and you do need to be able to open up. If you want to experience what you deserve, because what you desire and deserve, you do deserve. You do. This is a very clear message. You have done the work, and you've always deserved it, but they are so proud of you for knowing that you deserve it. I'm getting a lot of chills right now. They're like, don't get us wrong with this message. We are so fucking proud of how far you have come. It's just, again, the pendulum has swung a little bit. They're just like, just move it over a little bit. Please don't bring it back, or not even to the middle, but instead of it being stuck at the end, I'm seeing this large magnet and it's stuck. It's unstick it and just swing a little here, because someone else is bound to, their pendulum is also going to go here, and you two will meet. It's almost like, I feel this is a lot of relationships in this reading and seeking out a partner, because it's I'm almost feeling some people might call you high maintenance, or they're no one can get to them. And it's in a way, it's you're not high maintenance. You just have you know what you desire. You know what you deserve. So don't get rid of that. But it's, how do you respond to people? How, if anyone makes a little mistake, not a red flag mistake, but just but they still own up to themselves, how are you treating them? Because you are a person who will always make mistakes, because we all make mistakes. So we can't expect other people to be perfect if we ourselves can never be that. And so I'm just hearing kind of rethink of, there's mistakes and then there are red flags. There are, I was going to say second chances, but not for this group. I'm hearing for what was before. No. It just feels really think of mistakes versus red flags. Think of small things. And if someone apologizes, if they take ownership, then I feel that's where the second chance comes in. Be okay, I will go. If they're oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that what I said, I didn't realize how that would be offensive. I'm kind of picturing I will totally change the way I say something. If someone calls someone a she when they go by they, them, and they're if I know, I'm so sorry. If they're so genuine and so apologetic versus being you made that mistake, red flag. But if someone genuinely didn't know something, or genuinely is really trying so hard to be I will never do that again, and they prove it, then that's a second chance sort of situation, versus I'm hearing the past stuff, don't give that situation. And you're already I know. That's why I'm here. But again, there's something with mistakes versus red flags. And I'm so happy you know your worth and your value, and it's just to get what you desire, to get what you deserve, is just to be a little more open and receptive to what the universe is trying to bring in for you. That could be a person, it could be a job, something where it's just so, this boundary is so hard around you, and just, it's soften it up a bit, wiggle it up a bit for those who deserve it, for the situations that deserve it. I'm hearing your guides are trying to send you messages and all of these things. And it's just time to set yourself free. I'm hearing of this because it's a lot of energy to have such a hard boundary. You want to make it softer. I feel you want to, because then that's when you let in the love. That's when you let in companionship. That's when you let in great new opportunities. I feel for a while you needed to be up on that pedestal to be able to look at being like, almost be an observer, being like, okay, no, I will never allow that. I will never allow that. Ooh, I would love that. I would love that. It's kind of like you needed that time and space alone to be able to really observe the world and situations and people, to really hone in on what you want for yourself. But now it's time to like bring it down. Imagine it like almost like a car like lift. Then it's like you're like, okay, I'm ready to come back down, ready to join in. So it's kind of like, now take yourself down and join in, and set the boundaries for who you need to set them with, but make them thicker or thinner for whoever you're around, is what I'm hearing. Okay, I'm going to pull you one last card from my deck, A Gentle Journey Oracle. I'm so happy you found your worth, though. I'm so happy for you. The more gentle you are with yourself, the more lucrative the results will be. Ooh, it feels like the more gentle you are with the situation, with people. I'm just going to continue to use relationships as an example, because I feel like that's the majority of you watching this. And if it's not, your situation still applies. There's a reason you're here watching this. It's just, I'm hearing the more gentle you are with others, like, because with yourself, if you're less harsh with yourself, even like letting yourself get those boundaries a little looser, a little softer, not looser, softer, you'll really be able to let in the results. So let in the people, let in a suitor or someone you want to like court or what. I don't know why suitor in court, you know? Maybe a lot of us like watching those, you know, old time Netflix shows that show romance in a different way. But I'm just hearing the more gentle you are with yourself and with others, the more lucrative the results will be. So you will meet somebody, you will get that opportunity, because again, you are able to feel the intentions in a different way, because if your boundaries are so thick, you can't feel their energy. You can't feel the energy of the situation as well. But if you thin it up a little bit, like loose, I can say. I don't want to say loose because it's like, I imagine like cracks, and so it's more of like, you make it so you can feel, like it's almost like, I imagine it like instead of a wall, it's something you can move. So instead of something hard, it's like you can move and be like, oh, I feel that. Okay, but you're still energetically safe and you're still recognizing the energies, but it's like, it's allowing you to like feel it out. So, because you deserve what you're looking for. You do. You are so right about that. You are so worthy, and you deserve to be loved correctly, meaning respectfully, safely, with unconditional love. And what if it's like a job opportunity or other situation, like you deserve it in the way that you picture. There's no doubt about that. They don't want you to get that wrong, but we don't want to be too harsh and swing to the other side and give absolutely no chances or second chances, when sometimes they are earned and deserved. And again, other times not, but sometimes they are. So I'm hearing, remember, everyone's a human. You're a human. Don't put yourself down for this. Don't beat yourself up about even being in this situation, because you needed to be in this energy for a bit to, again, kind of view the situation from a different perspective. And I just saw 1441 when I said that, which is a mirrored number. So it's almost like a divine counterpart. Like you have worked so hard on yourself, and there's someone else who has too. And like, it's like, you're like, that's what I deserve, is this divine counterpart. And some people use the word soulmate or twin flame. And it's just, when you let, it's like you've realized what you deserve, and so now you just need to, again, make your boundaries a little more fluid so you can feel out for them, sort of a situation. Or if it's not a relationship, I'm hearing it's a mirrored energy of what you're putting out. So if it's a job, place you want to live, it's like this mirrored energy you're putting out. And so now it's just time to feel for it. And it's time to it's just, I don't know, it's just time, again, to come back down and be a part of it versus looking from above, is what I'm hearing. Well, Group 5, thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today. That was so interesting at first, but like, I am really happy for you. I feel like I'm feeling, because I'm recently was in this energy too. So like, I feel ya. We deserve good stuff. We deserve the good people. So shout out. Shout out. If you liked my A Gentle Journey Oracle deck, it's on my website along with other readings and offerings. So either I'll feel ya in another reading or I'll feel you later. Bye. Hello, Group 6. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Rhodonite Stone. Crystal Stone. Rock. Welcome to your reading. I'm feeling like a little spry with this one. Such different energy than group number 5. So I'm really feeling the difference here. It feels more energized, more excited. Okay, right away. Oh, I'm using the Kosmos Oracle deck, the Metamorphosis edition. And right away, perspective, clarity, mindset, logic. I feel you've recently changed your perspective on life. I feel you've moved from what they say, half glass full, half glass empty. I feel like you moved to a half glass full sort of outlook. And I feel you see the value in life. I feel you, I don't know, the fact I'm thinking of in the tarot, when you see someone naked without any clothes, it means the ego is no longer there. It's like the person's free and they're like, I have come home to myself. I have found myself. It's almost like egoless, even though none of us are without an ego, but it's kind of like you've been rebirthed. And that's what I'm kind of getting right now. I feel like you've been through rebirth and you're looking at this world in a less egoic way and more from just you being like, I am a soul and the world is the world and we're just existing. It just feels like almost endless possibilities. I feel you look out and you're like, so much I can do. There's so much for me out there. And it's a very beautiful perspective change. And I feel what I'm saying to every group is everyone just existing has value. You don't need to do anything to be valuable. Everyone here on this earth is valuable just because they are, just because you are. So I feel this is something you, even yourself, have recently kind of realized and felt. And I feel you are able to provide the world with this perspective. I think this is something you share with other people. You preach in a way to other people, or you just act this way and the energy exudes from you and is shared with others, and people can pick up on it when they're around you for 1 second or for years. And you just having this energy slowly shifts the energy of everyone, I'm burping, everyone you hang out with. It's like, I feel like you lead people to this aha moment. There's something about the stick of you being like this leader, like there's people behind you in this photo and they're like starting to take off their clothes. It sounds so weird. But you're like, see, look at the world. And they're like, oh my gosh. And they start shedding the layers that don't serve them. They start shedding things and releasing things that don't serve them just by being in your energy. And it's so beautiful. It feels, I'm just keep hearing aligned. I feel you feel so aligned with yourself and your soul and the world. And when you turn around, you see this group of people or a line of people who have just naturally followed you and who have naturally learned to do that with themselves just by being in your energy. I'm hearing you're not really even trying. some of you might have a job or do something where you feel that like this is kind of the energy you exude, but I'm hearing you don't need to try for this energy. What group was this group number 3 or 4? You might have watched that too, because this feels very similar to a pile I did before. Yeah, so if you came from that group, I feel ya. There's something very natural about the way you live life, meaning, like, kind of like I said, you're not trying. You're not like, I must act this way. It's just such an innate thing already within you. Okay, I'm going to pull another card. And so I feel like a message to remind you of your value is to remember. I feel, again, you already feel like, I feel like you know this, but it's just to reiterate or to really validate what you're already feeling is this energy I'm hearing is so extreme in the best way. This is the way to change the world. This is the way to change people's lives, is to just show them that this way of thinking, this way of being is possible. And it just feels so beautiful. Okay, then we have, so also this is number 27 and air. And here we have earth and 36. So earth mother, grounding, rewilding, nourishment. And there's something about like the mountains here opening up, and there's 2, if you look, it's like here there's 2, I don't know. There's something about you've gone through stuff, I feel. Oh my gosh, sorry. All the way up here. Like there's these 2, and there's something about like going through, and here I feel like you've been through a lot in your life, but you've been naturally able to find the good in the bad, the silver linings. You must have been in that other group too, because that's a very similar message. It just, and if some of you aren't, no worry, and you're like, I wasn't felt called to that, no worries at all. This is still your reading. Don't worry if it feels aligned. I just feel like you've been through a lot, and it's like this person rose out, and again, someone without clothes, or I think they actually all are naked in this deck. Still. And there's a gem on her chest here. I feel like you've rose from the occasion, like you've been rebirthed, like I said. Like you were incubating, like you were in hermit mode, you were in, what's it called? Like the chrysalis, and you've been birds, or like you were in the cave, and you recently have come out of the cave. I'm kind of hearing like you've done shadow work, and you've come out, and you're ready to experience the warmth, the sun. It's like you've made it. So, okay, so this is another message. So if you didn't watch that group, that's totally fine that I keep mentioning, because there is energy in here that I also feel from other groups too now coming up, where it's, you've been through so much, and I feel you finally are like, I made it. I made it. Or, okay, so I forget which group, but there was another group here too that kept being given messages that like, you made it, you're making it, and it was kind of like pushing it away. If you're watching from that group too, this one I feel is an extension of saying, believe it, that you will come out and you rise up, and it's just look around, see what's around you, see how you've made it, see what you've been through. So people in this group have been through a lot. You've been through so much, and some of you realize this and you see the beauty, you're like, oh, life is amazing. And some of you are being called to really take a look around and see everything that is at your fingertips, everything that is offered to you, everything that you can chase, that you can attract, that you can receive, that you can experience. There's all of this beautiful energy of, I can have it. I have it. It is here, it is here, it is here. I have. That's the energy. And the fact that we have earth and, air and earth, I'm being like, it's like centered energy. Like a lot of times I do a little meditation before I read, and I imagine energy going all the way down through me into the earth's core, and that's grounding. And then I imagine one going all the way up past my crown and the chakras above, and I can't remember their names all of a sudden, soul star, all that stuff. It's just like, and I imagine center, and so like getting energy from the ethers, and then in them coming back down and trading spots. So the grounding goes up into the ether, and the ether goes down to the ground, and then I feel so centered. So it's not me being too far grounded and too far like up in the ether, and so it's just, it really helps balance me and center me. And I feel either a lot of you already feel that way, or you're being called to really think about that, almost like do a meditation that really centers you. And like imagine energy going down into your root and down to the earth's core, and then energy coming from above, going through your body, and then switching places. And that, some of you, that will feel really beautiful, this really grounding, centered energy. Because again, it's like, it's interesting because this is the earth, but it's like she's looking up and like pointing up, and this arm's down. It just feels very centered. And I feel a centered energy is, people feel this from you. I just feel people find so much value just being around you because of the energy you exude. And again, just like everyone else, no one has to do anything, just exist to have value. But there's something about like people flock to you. People flock to you because of this energy. And just a really side message is, you're allowed to be alone though. Like you're allowed to have time by yourself. Don't feel like you need to constantly be out so people can feel this energy. No, you're allowed to keep it to yourself too. But it's you're a natural gift, and that's a natural gift of yours. Everyone's a natural gift, but that is a natural gift of yours. Oh, it feels so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to end the reading with my deck, A Gentle Journey Oracle. With the whole deck. No, with the card pull. With the pull of a card. Where'd you go? Super slippery. Okay, we got 2, so I'll respect that. Unplug today, sit with your thoughts, notice some uncomfortable ones, that's good. Time to reflect and release. And then we have honor all sides of yourself, the shadow, the light, the feminine, the masculine, the sad, the happy, and all in between. So, a couple messages here. I feel you have honored yourself, all sides. You were able to sit in the cave, in the dark, in the shadows, and then you're like, this is what's going to bring me to the light. And I feel that's just something very natural within you, and this is something that's really of high value to share to others, because a lot of other people have a harder time realizing this or knowing this, or they just really need a lot of support, which is not wrong at all. But I feel you're a very natural person at this, and you have support, but you feel like you can do it alone in this way. And that's kind of what I'm hearing with Unplugged today, and what I said, like you're allowed to be alone. And I feel like that's how you recharge, actually. And so I feel like something that of high value that you have to offer others is to share almost like how you did this, how you've gone through with this. And that could just be talking to one friend where you're like, I feel this energy exuding from you. Like, I'm here to support you. And also sit with your own thoughts and notice uncomfortable ones. That's good. Reflect and release. I feel you're able to really notice intrusive thoughts, limiting beliefs, and you're like, oh, I need to write these down, and we're releasing those. And so you need to still spend time with yourself to make sure it's almost a filter. I'm feeling like filter out these limiting beliefs, because we all have them. They happen. And so you don't need to keep going to the cave to be like, oh, I must work so hard. You've done all that really heavy lifting. It's time. It's like, maybe you just need to journal. Maybe you just need to meditate for a day or something, or a week you need to work on something, versus spending months and months or a year really like diving deep. Yeah, it just feels it's a balance, and you know this, and that's really beautiful that you know this, and it's easily accessible to others just from you walking by them. I feel like your energy just exudes it. It just feels very expansive. Your energy feels very expansive. Well, that is all the messages that I have for you, group number 6. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I appreciate you sharing your energy with me. If you're interested, I have my deck A Gentle Journey Oracle available on my website, along with other readings, offerings, some goods on there. And yeah, just thank you so much for sharing your energy, and I will feel you later. Bye.